welcome to Timekeeping. This show will attempt to chronicle a year-by-year journey through the history of Disneyland Paris, from the days of Euro Disney all the way to the present. Join us as we celebrate 30 years of the resort. With the leadership of E. Carden Walker, Tokyo Disneyland opened in 1983 in Japan with instant success, forming a catalyst for international expansion of the Disney parks. In late 1984, the heads of Disney's theme park division, Dick Nunis and Jim Cora, presented a list of approximately 1,200 possible European locations for the park. By March of 1985, the number of possible locations for the park had been reduced to just 4, 2 in France and 2 in Spain. Both nations saw the potential economic advantages of a Disney theme park and offered competing financing deals to Disney. Both Spanish sites were located near the Mediterranean Sea and offered a subtropical climate similar to Disney's parks in California and Florida. Disney had also shown interest in a site near Toulon in southern France. The pleasing landscape of that region, as well as its climate, made the location a top competitor for what would be called Euro Disneyland. However, shallow bedrock was encountered beneath the site, which would render construction too difficult. Finally, a site in the rural town of Mont-la-Vallée was chosen because of its proximity to Paris and its central location in Western Europe. This location was estimated to be no more than a 4-hour drive for 68 million people and no more than a 2-hour flight for a further 300. Michael Eisner, Disney's CEO at the time, signed the first letter of agreement with the French government for the site on the 18th of December 1985, and the first financial contracts were drawn up during the following spring. The final contract was signed by the leaders of the Walt Disney Company and the French government and territorial collectives on March 24, 1987. Disney would own 49% of the venture only because the government simply wouldn't allow them to own more. The Paris resort would be the central focus of the ambitious Disney Decade plans for the 1990s that Michael Eisner felt were so important to the future of the company. Eisner's mandate to Imagineers was that they had to construct the most beautiful Disney theme park ever built. In order to meet European expectations, Eisner urged Imagineers to surpass the exquisite attention to detail that had come before. Construction would begin in August of 1988, and in December of 1990, an information center called eSpace Euro Disney was opened to show the public what was being constructed. The preview center was located near the Paris A4 highway, and for French and European people, it was the first encounter with the future Euro Disney. A giant model of the park was displayed, as well as one of Sleeping Beauty Castle and Phantom Manor. A carousel horse was shown in the Fantasyland area. Pirate sculptures were displayed in the Adventureland area, and guests could take a picture with C-3PO in the Discoveryland area. Another section showed renderings of the future hotels and as well the Disney Village, then called Festival Disney. At the end, there was a theater where a preview movie about the future Euro Disney park was shown. As the park was not yet constructed, most of the footage showed Walt Disney World's similar attractions. Along with plans for an initial park and several resorts, plans for a second theme park next door based on the entertainment industry, then titled the Disney MGM Studios Europe, quickly went into development and was previewed. It was scheduled to open in 1996 with a construction budget of $2.3 billion. Unlike Disney's U.S. theme parks, Euro Disney aimed for permanent employees, an estimated requirement of 12,000 for the theme park itself, as opposed to seasonal and temporary part-time employees. Casting centers were set up in Paris, London, Amsterdam, and Frankfurt in an effort to reflect the multinational aspect of the visitors. However, it was understood by the French government and Disney that a concentrated effort would be made to tap into the local French labor market. Disney sought workers with sufficient communication skills who spoke at least 2 European languages, French and one other, and were socially outgoing. Following precedent, Euro Disney set up its own Disney University to train workers. 24,000 people had applied by the time November 1991 rolled around. In order to control a maximum of the hotel business, it was decided that 5,000 Disney-owned hotel rooms would be built within the complex. In March 1988, Disney and a council of architects, which include Frank Gehry, Michael Graves, Robert A.M. Stern, Stanley Tigerman, and Robert Venturi, decided on an exclusively American theme in which each hotel would depict a region of the United States. At the time of opening in April 1992, 7 hotels, collectively housing 5,200 rooms, would be built. An entertainment, shopping, and dining complex based on the Disney Village and Pleasure Island at Walt Disney World was designed by Frank Gehry. With its towers of oxidized silver and bronze-colored stainless steel under a canopy of lights, it would open as Festival Disney. For a projected daily attendance of 55,000 guests, Euro Disney planned to serve an estimated 14,000 people per hour inside the Euro Disneyland park. In order to accomplish this, 29 restaurants were built inside the park, with a further 11 restaurants built at the Euro Disney Resort hotels and 5 at Festival Disney. Menus and prices were varied, with an American flavor predominant, and Disney's precedent of not serving alcoholic beverages was continued inside the park. 2,100 patio seats, or 30% of park seating, were installed to satisfy Europeans' expected preference of eating outdoors in good weather. In test kitchens at Walt Disney World, recipes were adapted for European tastes. Walter Mayer, executive chef for menu development at Euro Disney and executive chef of food project development at Walt Disney World, noted, quote, "A few things we did need to change, but most of the time people kept telling us, do your own thing, do what's American." The prospect of a Disney park in France was the subject of debate and controversy. Critics, who included prominent French intellectuals, denounced what they considered to be cultural imperialism or neo-provincialism of Euro Disney and felt it would encourage an unhealthy American type of consumerism in France. For others, Euro Disney became a symbol of America within France. When the Euro Disney stock debuted on the exchange, Eisner and Associates were pelted with eggs and more. A journalist in the French newspaper Le Figaro wrote, quote, "I wish with all my heart that the rebels would set fire to Euro Disneyland." Ariane Mouchnik, a Parisian stage director, named the concept a cultural Chernobyl, a phrase that would be echoed in the media and grow synonymous with Euro Disney's initial years. In response, French philosopher Michael Eisner noted, quote, "It is not America that is invading us. It is we who adore it, who adopt its fashions, and above all, its words." Euro Disney SCA's then chairman Robert Fitzpatrick responded, quote, "We did not come in and say, okay, we're going to put a beret and a baguette on Mickey Mouse. We are who we are." Topics of controversy further included Disney's American managers requiring English to be spoken at all meetings, and Disney's appearance code for members of staff, which listed regulations and limitations for the use of makeup, facial hair, tattoos, jewelry, and more. French labor unions mounted protests against the appearance code, which they saw as, quote, "an attack on individual liberty." Others criticized Disney as being insensitive to French culture, individualism, and privacy, because restrictions on individual or collective liberties were illegal under French law unless it could be demonstrated that the restrictions are requisite to the job and do not exceed what is necessary. Disney countered by saying that a ruling that barred them from imposing such employment standards could threaten the image and long-term success of the park. Quote, "For us, the appearance code has a great effect from a product identification standpoint," said Thor Dengelman, Euro Disney's personnel director and a native Californian. "Without it, we couldn't be presenting the Disney product that people would be expecting." Of course, over the last 30 years, these guidelines have changed for many Disney parks and resorts around the world. According to Legislative Council Secretariat, Euro Disney's projected cost was estimated around $1 billion US. The final cost, though, was closer to $5 billion US, primarily due to the design and construction changes. It would be one of the biggest construction projects in Europe in all of the 20th century. On the 12th of October 1991, Euro Disney unveiled the centerpiece of their new Magic Kingdom in Paris as Le Château de la Belle au bord Dormant was revealed at an invited press and media event. In English, Sleeping Beauty Castle. A huge blue curtain was on show across the whole of Town Square of Main Street, declaring the official opening date for the new Euro Disney Resort on April 12, 1992. Michael Eisner, chairman and chief executive of the Walt Disney Company, and Roy E. Disney then revealed the castle to the world for the very first time as the curtain pulled back across all of Town Square. Main Street USA, still very much in construction, was filled with confetti, balloons, Disney characters, and marching bands in true Disneyland style. Sabine Macron, the very first ambassador of Euro Disney, would give a speech and welcome everyone to take a closer look at the castle as the characters and the marching band led everyone down the street for the very first time. In just 6 months, the park would be open to all. Well, time sure flies. If you're enjoying this jump from time to time with us, please hit the like button and please subscribe for more great content. If you'd like to support this show and others, you can join the WDWNT Inner Globe Society at patreon.com/WDWNT. Of course, for the perfect year to celebrate any Disney park around the world, head to Carousel of Products at carouselofproducts.com. A very special thank you to all the people here at WDWNT, as well as our sources that make timekeeping possible. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you real soon right here on Timekeeping.